Everybody. I'm glad to see you through this video. I wanted to show you this is the view outside of my window. You can see it looks like a winter wonderland out there. Probably looks that same way in Emporia too. And I did hear that the university closed this afternoon, so we wouldn't have had class, but we do still have work to do because remember we have those we have that shorter semester, and so things are kind of pushed into a shorter time frame. So if we cancel class means we have to reschedule it later, and that means you have to miss time in your school. So I don't want to do that. Let's take a few minutes right now and talk about your poetry lesson. I didn't have the chance to introduce that last week, and it's something that you need to start thinking about. So you're going to be teaching a language arts lesson in your classroom. It's one of your 4 lessons. You've probably heard about that. You have your math, reading, and you have your language arts as one of those 4 lessons. And so your lesson is going to be about teaching children how to write poetry. Now, sometimes people get a little uncomfortable because maybe poetry isn't your favorite topic, but I guarantee children love writing poetry. And I'm going to walk you through it and help you find a type of poetry that matches your style, that's very simple to teach, so that you can be successful in your lesson. So if you're worried, just put those worries aside. We're not going to go down that path. We're going to help to make you successful. So the first step of teaching your poetry lesson is deciding on what your topic and the type of poetry that you'll be teaching during that lesson. And that's the first step. And so I need you to start thinking about that, and I need you to talk to your mentor teacher about that. Your mentor teacher, if he or she has been a mentor before, is familiar with this assignment, and so we'll kind of know what you're going to be doing. So one place for you to start is to go into our course packet and look in the section on poetry, and you'll see some examples of different types of poetry. Also, be talking to your teacher about a topic for your poetry. Some teachers will say, well, you can do whatever you want to. Which sounds great, but kind of leaves people wondering. So here are some suggestions. Children are always interested in writing and learning about friends, family, animals. You could do something with the season of the year that you're going to be in, probably winter or spring. And then beyond that, it's kind of up to you. It could be something that you're interested in. One gal that I had in class had this great rock collection that she started when she was a child, and so her topic for her poetry lesson was rocks, which kind of sounds boring, but the students really enjoyed seeing her rock collection. So think about what interests you. Your teacher might say, well, around that time of year we're going to be studying the desert Southwest, so do poetry about the desert Southwest, or whatever the topic is. So your teacher may give you some direction. You don't have to decide for sure right now, but you need to start thinking about it. I'm going to talk a little more about this poetry lesson next week in our class, but I don't want that to be the first time you heard about it, because it does take some thinking to figure this out. Now, you'll notice when you look on our list of assignments that you won't actually be teaching this lesson till the end of March or the beginning of April. So kind of keep that in the back of your mind. We're going to go through the whole writing process, writing a rough draft, my feedback, your revisions, writing a final draft. We're going to get your lesson plan just perfect before you teach it, because I want you to be as successful as possible. That's our goal here. So if you start talking to your teacher about your poetry lesson and your teacher gets all excited and says, oh, great, I have an idea. Next week you could do Valentine's poetry. Well, what you need to say is, no, Dr. Dobler won't let me teach my poetry lesson that soon. I have to wait until the end of March or beginning of April. And that kind of slows things down, because I want you to have time to make this lesson plan just perfect so that you will do your best. So we're not going to rush the process, even if your teacher is all eager and wants to get started. It'll be all right. We'll come up with something that you'll be able to use a little bit down the road. So be thinking, look in your packet, read the assignment description, just kind of get some ideas roaming around in there, and we'll talk about it some more next time.